Welcome to our lesson on interpreting remainders. A remainder is the amount left over when something cannot be divided evenly. For example, 15 cannot be divided evenly by the number 4, and so I'm left with a remainder of 3. There are different ways to interpret the remainder in a problem. Sometimes you will have to add 1 to the quotient, which is the answer in a division problem. Sometimes you will only use the quotient and you will completely ignore the remainder to answer the question. And sometimes you will only use the remainder. Here is an example of when you may need to add 1 to the quotient. Stephanie was baking cupcakes. She plans on making 27 cupcakes. Each pan can hold 12 cupcakes. How many pans will she need? Well, I can see here, if each pan holds 12, these 12 will fit on one pan. The next 12 will fit on one pan. And because of what I'm being asked, how many pans will she need? I can't just not bake these 3 remaining cupcakes, so I will need a third pan. So I'll have to add 1 to my quotient. Stephanie will need 3 pans to bake all of the cupcakes. Here's an example of when you will only use the quotient. Stephanie was baking cupcakes. She needs 3 eggs per batch. If she has 17 eggs, how many batches of cupcakes can Stephanie bake? Well, 17 divided by 3 equals 5 with a remainder of 2. The remainder of 2 are these 2 eggs over here. I cannot bake a complete batch of cupcakes with those 2 eggs, so I will only use my quotient. Only 5 batches can be made. There are not enough eggs for the 6th batch. Here's an example of when I will only use the remainder. Stephanie was baking cupcakes. She needs 3 eggs per batch. If she has 17 eggs, how many eggs will be left over when she's finished? 17 divided by 3 equals 5 with a remainder of 2. So after she has made her 5 complete batches, 2 eggs will be left over. So to answer this question, I will only use my remainder. Okay, now let's try. Kindergarten is going on a field trip. There are 125 students in kindergarten. Each bus can hold 40 students. How many buses are needed to take kindergarten on the field trip? So we have 125, that's the total number of students in kindergarten, and we're going to divide it by 40 because each bus can hold 40 students. So I know 40 will go into 125 3 times. 3 times 40 equals 120. And this leaves me with a remainder of 5. Well, I can't just leave those students behind. So to answer this question, I will need 4 buses. I will have to add 1 to my quotient. I'll need 4 buses to take all of kindergarten on the field trip. All 4 buses will not be full, but I will need to take 4 to fit all of the students. All right, let's look at it from a different angle. Kindergarten is going on a field trip. There are 125 students in kindergarten. Each bus can hold 40 students. How many buses will be completely full on the field trip? Okay, so once again, we said that we will need 3 full buses, because we also had a remainder. So 40 can ride on this bus, 40 would ride on this bus, 40 would ride on this bus. So those buses would be full, and then we had a remainder of 5. And so 5 other students would have to fit on another bus. How many buses will be completely full? 3 buses. Here we are only using the quotient. Kindergarten is going on a field trip. There are 125 students in kindergarten. Each bus can hold 40 students. If they only took 3 buses, how many students would not be able to fit on the buses? Okay, so we're just looking at it from a different angle this time. We know we could fit 40 students on a bus. 40 plus 40 plus 40 equals 120. And so there were 5, we had a remainder of 5. So there are 5 students who would not be able to fit on the buses. So in this problem, we are only using the remainder. This concludes our lesson on interpreting remainders.